Chinedu in the house, man. How are you?
Doing great, man. Doing great. How you been, Dan?
I've been good. I've been good. Getting my butt kicked by kids under 4 years old every day here during quarantine. But other than that, we're good.
I as well. and I realized I just call you Dan for the first. I always call you Dan. So I don't know why I said Dan. I'm trying to be, hey, Dan. I don't know why
No,
I
it's all good. You know what? My last job, everybody called me Dan. So
really.
yes. My wife didn't really like it after a while, but neither did my parents. But that's okay. I'll let it slide this time.
I appreciate it, man.
What you got going on in your life? What's going on?
Currently, we're on the my tour now, the Expect Delays tour. We just added some more out of state dates. I added another date in California, and I added another Atlanta date. So we're able to kind of expand as the world opens up gradually, though. But it's really great. We're doing all over Texas. We also have my stand-up comedy special that just came out, and we are currently in production of filming my first movie. So I'm really excited about it.
Wow. So you're not busy at all.
Oh yeah, I'm chilling, man. I got the feet kicked up, man. This is lazy sweat, guys. I don't want you guys to think I'm out here just moving around. This is lazy sweat. I'm wiping off it. This isn't. This is just like sugar sweat, man. I'm just out here drinking lemonade.
Hey, so I got to ask you. I every guest that I have on the podcast, I always ask the same question. Can you kind of sum up the journey that you've been on so far in your life, and how cool is it that you're at this moment doing what you love?
Honestly, I would say it's nothing short of a blessing at all. To be completely transparent, I first really fell in love with comedy when I was like 5 years old. This was when to me as a kid, comedy was always like my safe space. It was my haven that got me out of my reality. The stuff my parents divorced, growing up in the area we grew up in. We grew up in a really rough part of Southeast Houston. The ups and downs of of not being rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You know,
got, yeah.
but through all of it, comedy was always my escape. It made me feel better. I could always pull up a funny stand up or a movie and just laugh and just it would always make me feel better. It was my medicine. And so the sound of comedy at 16, fell in love with it. I didn't pursue it fully until I was like 25, 25-ish though. Went to U of H for a few years though, because I wanted to go to college, and my dad found out I was thinking about not going to college for comedy. Listen, man, I don't know if I could. I don't know if statute of limitations are passed yet, but he said some things to me, guys. I don't. I think. I think we should get the government involved with these threats. I don't know. I'm just saying. I was like, look, you really would do that to your son if I don't go to college?
We're gonna get to African Dad here in a little bit because I love that. One of my best friends is from Ghana. And so I send him your stuff, and he loves it. He cracks up all the time.
I'm telling you, man, because it's all factual. Like these are our dads, guys. They're from the entire continent, from Morocco to Nigeria. These is how our dads act on the same wavelength of everything.
So in those early days, I mean, you talked about some of the struggles that you guys had. Just how did that make you stronger as a person? Where you grew up, and that comedy, how did that kind of influence you as you kind of lived your younger years?
Honestly, growing up for the most part, I knew we were never like really high, on the top of the hill or anything like that though. But like, I didn't realize like where we were economically really until like middle school. That's when I was like, oh, so y'all got so we're kind of in the okay. Well, you realize it. Okay, so for me, it gave me it's one of those things. It's like I was aware of my surroundings and things like that, but I always want to make sure I never forgot it though, because there was a lot of rough times, and it made you very aware of sometimes where you live at and where you're from will determine the kind of opportunities that will be presented to you on the table like that. Like for career days and things like that. Just if you live in different areas, you get a different experience though. Like where I grew up, the experiences I would have would probably be different from a kid that went to a Lamar at the time, different economic areas. But it was just more of awareness, like, I know that I don't have all the advantages though, so you're gonna have to work hard. It was one of those like really, okay, this is where you're at. So you're gonna have to really like work double time to get to where you want to get to, because there's not that many lanes where you're at to get there though. So you're gonna have to work extra hard. So that was really more of the wake up call to get to it than anything.
So your comedy influences back then, what did you turn to? What were your go-tos?
Man, hands down, gotta say Sinbad, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. Those were my guys growing up. Hands down, those are all the guys that I I'd watch, of course, us all the greats, the Richard Pryors, the Kings of Comedies, the Red Foxes, the Moms Mabley. You have the God, I am literally forgetting his name. The George Garlands. I would watch all.
Yeah, George Carlin. Yeah, George Carlin.
George Carlin. I mean, all spectrums of comedy, all races too, because I feel, one of my things was always that I felt connected. All of us was, no matter what language we speak, we all laugh in the same language. So I always felt like humor can be universal depending on how you do it, though, because there's certain stand-ups that you watch in different language. If you can kind of get the gist of the body language, you'll be laughing too. So I watched all these different ones. Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, all these different perspectives of comedy, because all these different walks of life, and you see how we're all different, but we find humor in everything. So it was always one of those great things, though. So those were my guys.
So you went to U of H. I got my Phi Slamma Jamma shirt on there, by the way. Yes, there you go. So right. Okay, so you said you didn't get into comedy until you're 25. What'd you go to school for? What'd your dad tell you to go to school for? So what was your initial plan?
Fresh out of high school graduation from Chavez High School, 2005. I was getting ready to. I was going to take like 6 months. I was going to do 6 months. I was planning on going to U of H. I was accepted to U of H. I already set up my financial aid, but I was going to start in the spring. I wanted to take a semester to see if I could do it. I was going to put my hand in stand up, do some open mics, travel to different places, try to work on it. And also, my senior year, I hosted the talent show in my high school. And me, myself, and a good friend named Christopher Rodriguez. He owns a company called OC Films now, but he was the president of the AV Club. That's what they called it back then.
Yeah,
videos.
That's right, AV Club.
AV Club.
I remember that. Yeah, no, I remember that.
So it was called AV Club though. So I remember we would make funny skits before the talent show would start. That would be like the intro of it. So we were doing videos back then. We were kind of full circle in the long run, but that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to like do stand up and make skits, because that's when Chappelle's show was really hot, and this new app that came out called MySpace has just came out.
Wow.
And it was like, you could put videos on here, and I was seeing people post videos on there, and they were like doing well. And there was another thing called Facebook, but I didn't have that because at the time you had to be in college to have Facebook at that time. This was, I know it sounds crazy to some of the younger people though, but you had to have
about 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds have Facebook profiles at this point.
Yeah. You had to be in college back in 2005 to have one. So I was focusing on that, but my dad found out, scared the Jesus side, scared me straight, kind of scared me out of my dream. Like, there's no stability in this now. You need to go out and get your college degree before you end up in these streets. You're skating in the streets now. You'll be, he his voice and place in the streets. He said like that. Oh my God, I don't want to be in the streets.
Like, oh man, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. He's scared you. So I went to U of H. I majored in business and psychology, and I do not regret going to U of H at all. I met a lot of amazing people there. I met my wife there. And
that's a good one. Yeah.
Don't regret it all, man. Go KHOU. Bleed red for life. This is who I pay loans to. Okay, so we're together. Okay, so we're bonded though. So I went to U of H. I felt like that was the stable route until I got laid off from my job. I was like, wait, what? My job ended up downsizing. And so I ended up being laid off. And this is after I've gotten married and all that. And so I'm like, so I went to college, got all them college hours and credits and certifications and all that, and ended up unemployed anyway.
So what were you doing when you graduated? What did you end up doing?
Well, I was working at the time. I was working as an ABA therapist at the time. So that's how I was using my psychology degree. I was putting it to work, because I ain't gonna lie. I was just like, what can I do with a psychology degree? I was honestly asking myself that. And I felt like I was lucky that I fell into something that was related to the field. Because, and most people in college, some people don't want to admit, I'll admit it, you struggle trying to sometimes find justification for what you majored in, and you get real nervous about it going into the real world. It's just like, you spend all this money at this point, you've invested so much, you have to come out with something related to it, or you feel like you failed. You're 23 years old, 24, feel like you already failed life. It's crazy.
Not a good start. Not a good start.
Yeah, so you feel that way. So I was laid off, and I was sitting at home, and I was like, I can't. And my dad was like, you need to go get your master's. I was like, I'm not. No
more money.
No.
I'm not spending any more money.
Exactly. I'm not going to any more debt. Like, that's not the solution. Okay. To get out of a hole, you don't just dig deeper. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I told myself, I was like, you can either do this grad school thing, you could man, I had my old GMAT book in here too, man, because I was thinking about getting my MBA at one point. I still have that book. Or I was like, I could take this couple $100 you have, you can get like this old camera, this raggedy HP laptop you have. You could try making YouTube videos, pick up your old stand-up jokes, and try what you want to do. Because I ain't gonna lie, every day I was in college, I thought back to me hosting a talent show. It wasn't like me clinging on to high school memories. I accepted I moved off of high school. It wasn't that. It was just that moment that I enjoyed doing stand-up because I hosted the show. So I did stand-up all throughout the show. I was doing my routine, making laughs and all that. And I was like, that's what you really love. And I mean, it kept coming back over and over again. I knew it wasn't, I miss high school. I did not miss high school. You know, I like being an adult. Okay.
No, I didn't jump to that. When you were telling the story, I didn't jump to, oh man, this guy missed high school that much.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but like it was those memories that just kept coming back, and I was like, there's something to this, man. Like you wouldn't be thinking about this for years if it wasn't something to it. And it's like, so I was like, give it a try. And so I started making videos in 2012, and I told myself to make videos at least 3 times a week, at least 3 every week, and I did that for 5 years. And so 974 videos later, that's when I got my first viral video. And all the shows I was doing stand-up shows, across the city and everywhere else, though. Some did well, most didn't. Nobody really coming to them, no one really knew who I was until the video I made about being from Houston. That one went viral, and that was April 4th, 2017. Never forget it. I made the video. I got in trouble at work because I was supposed to have been at work at 3:00, but I had to work late to make that video work because I had a lot of special effects in the video and sound effects. I was like, I had a feeling about the video because there was a hashtag going on called I'm from Houston, and I wrote this script about a video called I'm from Houston like a year ago. I was like, oh my God, this could be divine intervention. I was something like that. I was like, could be.
Yeah.
So the job I had at the time at the school district, I worked after school. I was like a tutor. I would come to the school at 6 a.m. and I would stay there from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'd help the kids with their homework, get them set up and all that, and get them off the class. And then I would leave there from 9 to 2. I would write my comedy. I'd work on my videos, work on my set, try to build shows and all that, and all that. So all the comedy business. Then from 3 to about 7, I'd go back to the school district so I could get at least a good 6 to 7 hour workday in. And then from 7 to about 10, I would go home, eat, and then try to do a comedy show. And I would do that every day for 5 years. And then that day, it took me extra long time to do that video. I was supposed to have been there at 3:00. I got to my site at like 5:30. And that day I was getting inspected. So all the supervisors were there. The managers were there. It was so bad. I got written up. It was so bad that like even my bad kids were acting good. They were like, man, Mr. O, man. Mr. O, my name. Hey, we told him you're real cool, man. You real. I was like, it's cool. But like, it was.
Thanks for having my back, guys. Thank you for having my back.
Like, thanks. But I got home and that video had 180,000 views.
In one day.
In a couple hours. And then like within one day, it hit 1 million views. And after that, all the videos I made for all those years, they all started going viral too. So videos I had made in 2014 that had 40 views, now had 80,000 views.
Wow.
And so like they were watching everything, like my old web series, old African Dads, old show reviews. And I mean, it was just, and people just like, you have so many videos. I've been binge watching for weeks. I'm like,
you had 900 something video.
Yeah. And like they were going, I mean, like, and I was getting notifications from videos that I forgot I made in like 2012, old Scandal review videos, old Empire review videos. I'd make skits, just all kind of like old videos I forgot about. And I'm like, y'all are watching all this stuff. And from there, they saw the videos, and then they saw my promotions about me doing stand-up comedy. They're like, oh, you're a comedian? I'm like, yeah, I'm a comedian first, actually. I'm a stand-up comedian. They're like, oh, well, where are you performing at? So I did my live shows, and when I finally got my night, the improv is what helped me though, because in our city, we don't have many comedy clubs.
No,
so
that's right.
Although I do my own shows, I rent my own venues now and things like that though. But for people at that time, I needed them to see me at the improv because that's where people go for comedy. That's what they think of first. So when I got my night there, my show sold out in like a couple weeks. They were like, Chin, you're so sold out. Sold it out on a Sunday night. And then from there, it was off. I launched my tour, and that first tour, we did 43 shows all over Texas, and they all sold out.
Could you believe it was happening at the time that it was going down? Like, you had worked so hard, you had made so many videos to get to this point, and it's finally happening for you. What was your mindset? What was your thought process? I'm sure you had a lot of stuff just going. You got to make sure everything's good and lined up, but just deep down inside, it must have been such an overwhelming feeling, right?
It definitely was. At that time, I still couldn't believe that it happened though, because every day you dream about all these things, everything that was happening in that moment, me going out and people freaking out because they saw me. They're like, "Oh my God, it's you! Gotta get a picture." I'm like, "Yeah," So all these things, and I get notifications that people buy my tickets and all that, and people wanting to interview me. I mean, I'm on these. I mean, being recognized like across the state and the country. It was crazy, and to me, like at that time too, I was already 30. And for me, like a lot of people, you're like, well, I'm gonna keep working on this, and when I'm 30, I'm gonna just get a real job. And
Right.
I was already 30, closer to 31, with a baby on the way. And so for me, I felt like my orbit of comedy was like changing. I had to like something needs to give, because when you have a kid, it's not just about your dream anymore. You have a kid. Being married is one thing.
That's right.
You guys can work it out. Y'all can eat cereal. You know what I mean? That's fine. We'll see for dinner, no problem. We have a kid, it's a whole different thing. Insurance, diapers, everything. And so for me, I felt so blessed and fortunate. Though I was like, it happened at the perfect time, because my daughter was on the way. I was able to really work and do the tour and build my brand up and establish myself, because now I mean, God willing, I'm speaking to. I'm going to be here for a long time. I'm believing that.
Right.
But I'm thankful now, because of all that work and things put in place. My daughter's not going to know me as the guy who was working at the school district while he's trying to build comedy. She's going to know me as a comedian who she sees on TV every week, and who's doing shows. And when we go out to places, people want to take pictures with her dad. Like, that's who she'll know. And that's just a blessing to me, honestly. And so it was so overwhelming. I mean, at that time, I really could not believe it. I would pinch myself a lot, like, bro, they really are rocking you. 'Cause my name is Chinedu. Like, I was like, people are saying my name clear as a bell. Okay, people would
That's
never
right.
say never say my name that accurately, and it's like it's happening. And so it was amazing.
So every comedian's got their own style, right? Everybody's got. So how did you come about your style? Obviously, taken from other people and just kind of forming your own thing. But if somebody's never seen you, which would be shocking here in Houston if somebody's never seen you because you're everywhere. So what would you tell people that your style of comedy is?
Honestly, my style, I feel the best type of comedy is like self-reflective, your life. My comedy is all about my life, my childhood, my family, and life experiences, and just my perspective. 'Cause I feel, especially in comedy, people steal jokes a lot. All right, there's a lot of joke thieves in this industry. We could talk for hours about it. You know what I mean? But it's just for me.
I'm not gonna have you give examples.
Yeah.
Start throwing people under the bus here.
Yeah. The phone call. Did you hear Chinedu say something? But for me, I always felt that's like the best way to give the most authentic material and be able to really connect with your audience. So because I just talk about my life, being growing up with my having a Nigerian dad, African American mom. I grew up I spent my teenage years growing up in a predominantly Hispanic area. So just learning that culture, while also maintaining mine from two different perspectives too, and just how I just saw life. So just my family, my life, because I feel is the best way. And I feel I never run out of things to talk about, because there's just so much I write about. It's just literally just about my everyday life with my friends, family, parenthood. I feel that's the best way. Because I feel when you write about other things like that, you force it, it doesn't come out funny. Like, just naturally, what happened to your day to make you laugh? And I feel that's what really makes my audience connect with me.
And one of the funniest things that you do, we brought it up already, is African Dad,
Oh yes.
which is hilarious. What is your dad's reaction? Does he watch your videos? Like, what's he thinking here? I mean, that's kind of what it's in the back of my mind when I'm like, okay, this is amazing, and I'm laughing my head off. But what does his dad think?
Man, let me tell you, my dad actually, he didn't know I was doing African Dad videos for like probably a good year. He didn't know until my younger siblings. when my parents divorced, my dad remarried when I was like 17 years old. So he remarried and had 3 more kids. So I'm around 25 at the time, 26. My siblings are about 9, maybe 10, something like that. They're around that age level. So they're watching my videos, I think so. I think my math might be a little off, but I think that they're about 8. I think they're about 8, 9 years old, somewhere around that range. So they're on YouTube because kids are so super savvy. I don't know how
the kids are locked in, man.
Yes, I didn't know I was Facebook friends with one of them. I didn't know they had an account. I was somehow friends with one of them. I was sharing my videos, one of my African dad, and they saw me playing it, and they know that's our dad. They know. It's like they know who I'm imitating. They know who I'm imitating. So they're cracking up, laughing in their room. They're watching all the videos. And my dad comes in. What is all this noise? What are you watching? Is that Chief? No, that's my nickname. He calls me Chief. My nickname is that Chief? Is that what is he doing? You know, my dad. He just lay on the screen, calls the phone. Chief, come to this office. I'm like, okay, Pop, what's up? I come in to like the sound of my video playing. I'm like,
God. At that point, you knew. You're like, ooh.
Yeah. I was like, so I'm sure I know why I'm here. Like, so is this what you're doing now? You want to tell jokes on the computer screens? I was like, yeah. He's like, so tell me a joke. I was like,
On the spot.
I was like, for real? He's like, tell me a joke. I was like, you want me to do a stand-up set? So like, I legit did a 5-minute stand-up set. I did it right in front of him as if I was like at a comedy club, and like I paused for cues and all that. My dad was sitting there just, so this is how you plan to take care of your life? Is this your plan? I was like, yeah. Hey, you need to get your master. So whenever I say where's your man, like that's where all that comes from. My dad wasn't really on board with that. And so for a good 5 years, he was like, no, you don't need to be doing this nonsense now. You need to get a good job. You need to go and focus. So but when the videos went viral and people in the Nigerian community started watching it and started seeing African Dad and then some of the more prominent Nigerian comedians talking like, yo, this guy's hilarious. Like people that I know he watches, he sees, they're like, he played your video now. And I was saying that you're my son. And I told him that, you're my son, I met you. And I was like, yeah. And then
with open arms, come on here.
And then real talk, this isn't a plug because this is, we're on the same network though. But when I joined KHOU, to my dad, listen, no joke, my dad, you are working with all of these good white people. Hey, look at this, look at my son. Look at him. He saw me on the morning show. And on Sports Station with you and Jason, all that. Look at my son. Give him play-by-play. He was.
That is amazing. That is a great story.
So he was. Now I want to say for the past 4 years he's been completely on board. But that first 5, that was rough though. But I feel with any parent though, they want you to do what they feel is best. And for my dad, I had to prove that this is what I wanted to do. And sometimes a lot of parents, I have a tough love dad. Honestly, it's like there's no hugs like that. Like that, if you say you want to do something, you have to prove it. And to my dad, you're gonna have to stand up, be a man. You can't cower because that's your dad. You have to stand up and be a man, stand on your dream and go forward. And my dad told me, he said that's what he respected. And when I finally did my first major show, I rented out Memorial Auditorium. We had 1,000 people in there for my stand-up special taping. And he was there. He saw the whole crowd and all that. And he was like, no, he told me, I really respect you, son. Like you stuck with this. He said, I didn't think you could do it. He's like, I don't think you're funny. He said, but they do. So that is enough for me. I'm happy. So I was like, thank you.
That's right. That's really cool, man. I love hearing stories like that. When you go through all the struggles and all the tough times, then you finally break through. And your videos, I mean, now what are you averaging now per video? Because I think you posted on Instagram, YouTube. I'm sure it's huge.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot. I want to say we reach about from about 2 to 4, say probably about 300,000 to 500,000 people a week across the platforms.
Wow. So
between the Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat.
Oh, you're on TikTok too, huh?
Yeah, I'm on every platform. You got to be. I'm on everything. Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. If they bring back MySpace, I'll be there too.
I'm sure you'll still have that same friend that everybody had. What was his name?
Tom.
Tom. Tom, yeah, that guy was like that.
Good old Tom, man. But I remember because of course the algorithms changed online with Facebook, whatever. Because I remember there was a point that my videos would get like 3 million views in like a day. But the algorithms do change online, things like that, and platforms change. People switch accounts and all that though. But across all platforms, my videos still hit crazy numbers still, like hundreds of thousands to the millions, and I'm very thankful for that, honestly, because it's very difficult because I felt like I spent so long trying to be seen, and now that they see me, I'm not going to waste their time. That's why we post videos every day. We're going to tour. We make content. We're making videos. You see me on Sports Extra every week. I will be on there. I'll see me on the morning show. I'm not going to waste anything. Because I honestly, I think back to when I was starting and how I would like pray for all the things that I'm doing now. And that was always like the big thing for me. Yeah, they go. I'm doing an interview. It's my wife, right? Come on.
Oh yeah, okay, hey, yeah.
Look back. Once out of the people we're doing the interview. Come on. This is Dan Gotera. Come on. Hey, babe, we were
Hi, how are you?
I come in too late now, baby.
I was trying to poke my head in.
Roxanne already left. This is real life, guys. We're not gonna cut this.
This is good. No, I like it. This is what a podcast is all about. I mean, real life. Well, hey, look. Luckily, you're from Houston. You got a lot of content to talk about. Whether it's from where you grew up, the different neighborhoods that are here, the sports teams. So, I mean, you got something every day to talk about, right?
Endless, and it's like, and what I love too is that like even because I do content about all other things too, trending topics, everything like that though, but just my Houston content, just Houston and Texas in general, it's endless. Like, I mean, just right
I'm
now,
sure those are your most popular videos.
Oh, they are, like, hands down. Like my Houston, Texas videos, those are ones people love the absolute most. Like when I give my play-by-play on sports, and honestly too, I'll be real. I gotta give my big credit to Jason. Like he when I was doing my Texas review videos, my Astro review videos, he saw those and he was the one like, hey man, would be interested in me on having the air on Sports Section? I was like, yes. So always, Jason's my guy. All right, I love you, Jason. If you're watching, man, love you, man. All right, but those videos, they did so well, and it was just perfect timing because 2017, it was the year. We had unfortunate events though, but that was a year Houston was in the forefront of a lot because that was the year Harvey hit. And I did videos. And at that time I was shut in too. So all I could do is make videos about what I was going through. And those hit millions of views because I was talking about what we're all going through and everyone could relate. I mean, we're sitting in the house and we're doing bad right now. I mean, all you can do is laugh. I mean, that's all we could do. We're in a
curve. Goes back to your initial point, right? About comedy, man. Everybody's got the same language. Laughter is the same language, right?
And we all had that in common. I mean, you all laugh. We're all sitting in it. And then that same year, the Astros won the World Series. And that's when I started doing my Astro review videos for their postseason. I started doing it right at the start. And the first video I did for the Astro video hit like 3 million views. It got shared on all these different sports sites and the memes I would make. I like talking trash, okay? Because I do.
Yes, you do. You do it well, I feel like. You rep Houston, you do it well.
Yes, and I think it's true. And I will live and die by it. Okay.
I know. Every time I was waiting for your videos all the time. Like, okay, so the game 1 happened, so now game 2, and you're always like, game 2.
Yes. Astros win, and if we lost,
Astros win.
I told myself, win or lose, I'm gonna make them every time. And for me, I wanted to pair myself with at that time, like when people see these games, I don't want them to go to ESPN first. I want them to go to me first. I want them to see me first. And then, so I'm watching the game while I'm filming. So I'm watching the game right here. I'm writing content. I gotta be fast because the game's over. So by the time the 9th inning hit, I had everything enough. I'd make 2. I'd make a 1 if we won and 1 if we lost every time. Because you have to,
gotta cover your bases.
You gotta cover bases, and you gotta put in that overtime if you want to be seen the way I wanted to be seen. I'm like, so win or lose, I made enough. Where I made a video where I talk about the mistakes the Astros made and the stuff that they did great. So if they won or lost, they were ready. By the time we got to the middle of the 9th, they were both done and loaded. I had to get one more joke in there to seal the video, but whatever happened, within 2 minutes, my video's up and they see it. And a lot of people are like, yo, you're so fast, they get it done. And you build that rapport with your audience. They're like, yo, he's gonna have it up. So when you build that up, algorithms or not, they're gonna look for you. So that's what I wanted to build up for myself. So that's why that year, particularly with Houston, such an amazing year in terms of like viral content for me.
We had a good run there for sports. Now we're now not so hot.
Listen, man. Man,
it's not so hot right now.
I'm so I had to be real honest. I couldn't tell you who's on the Rockets right now. I couldn't tell you who's on the Texans right now. I couldn't like, and I told some people too. They were like, when I'll be glad James Harden's gone and this and all that. And I can understand that, but he was still a star. Like that was the attraction, star power, and we don't have anybody on there. John Wall is out, and I think we've seen him in a Rocket uniform for probably the last time. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I think.
I actually don't want to see him in another game. We're good, John. Thank you, John. We're good. I appreciate it.
Just yeah. Thanks. No. You can keep the uniform. You can keep it. We're not gonna hang it up or anything like that. Won't be. We won't be hanging that one up. Don't worry about that.
So what's your assessment on the Texans then? Give me your breakdown. This is your on-the-spot comedy routine for the Texans. Let's do it. There's a lot of content there, a lot of material to go through.
First things first, man. I mean, I'm not gonna make light situation on, man, but Lord have mercy. Deshaun, you stay off social media and you do whatever your lawyer says. You are in quite a situation. I ain't gonna give I know it's very delicate. That's why I'm gonna tread lightly on it. But boy, Deshaun, you just stay off internet, do whatever he said. Okay. And the rest of the team, it's like the new coach. If I'm him, I'll need a long-term deal because right now, with no picks and no real movements in the draft that I've seen, it's gonna be struggle bus for a couple seasons though. So I'm gonna need a guarantee, and I'm gonna be here for a couple more seasons so I can make this work. Because right now, like this is like. I mean, I want to say struggle bus, but I mean, even struggle bus has a good engine. We don't have a good engine. I mean, we don't even like have that. It's like right now as a whole, it bothers me because sports is the lifeblood of our city and business too. Like there are vendors who need this, parking attendants, people who put on watch parties and all kinds of things. People make money off these games, whether it's, through the NFL or on their own, but regardless, it's how people take care of their families. So when you basically fumble our whole team, O'Brien, for a handful of magic beans like this, it makes me quite upset to see that, I mean, we're in a bad situation with no players and you're not even here for me to like make fun of. Like, it makes me upset.
He's your guy. You love going after O'Brien. I know that.
It was so much, listen, it was just because like, it was one of the things that.
It was easy. It was like putting it on a tee, hitting a home run.
And like, it don't matter what your political affiliation was or whatever your religious background, everybody who was a Texan fan did not like O'Brien. That was a commonality I could bring all of us together on because you just sit down, you watch how he just ruined the whole team, a promising team. Like, I would never say they were going to Super Bowl, nothing like that, based because you never know who will win like that. Right. But I felt like they were on the way to something. Like, I felt like it was something that they were building, and now it's the mess, man. I saw JJ when JJ left and he made that video. He said, "I want this to come from me." I was like, "Yes." I made videos predicting that. I was like, "It's over. He's gone." Will Fuller will probably not be back. Probably not. It's a wrap. And after that, I don't know who's on our team. I mean, this really could be like the replacements from that movie. I don't know.
Oh, we got to sign Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. We got to bring Keanu Reeves in. Let's bring in Denzel Washington from Remember the Titans.
Yes.
He fixed that whole community from racism. He won a championship. And in like 2 hours. That is what we need right now. No draft picks.
Oh, man. No draft picks, man. No draft picks.
But he,
no, I want to ask you, obviously we talked about your videos a lot and they're a lot of fun to watch, but what's that feeling like for you to be on stage in your tour? Because that's where a comedian really thrives, in front of his audience. And judging by, I need to go to one of your shows. I need to check one of your shows out. I have not been to one of your shows, but that's where I feel like you really thrive. I mean, that's where you have a lot of fun.
Honestly, that's the truth. My favorite place in all of entertainment is to be on the stage. Like, stand-up comedy is who I am at my core. That's who I am first for everything. I felt like being stand-up comedy would allow me to extend to other things. I mean, things that I do on Sports Extra and on H-Town Rush. I mean, the being a T personality and making videos. It all extends from being a stand-up comedian, and that's my favorite thing to do in the world. So The fact I remember when the pandemic first hit, it was so rough because at that time, and like I don't mean to bring it down or anything like that. The ones be real, but like at that time, my opener comedian Justin Thompson, he had passed away last year, Super Bowl Sunday, like a week before the tour started. He passed away.
Oh no.
Very, very unfortunate, man. He passed away Sunday. We buried him Wednesday, and that Thursday I flew out to LA for my first show of the tour. And I thought that would be the worst thing that was going to happen that year. And then like 3 weeks later, the pandemic hit. And so like I had that was my first nationwide tour I had planned. I sat down, all the venues across the country. I was supposed to be on tour from Valentine's Day all the way through New Year's Eve. So every weekend or every other weekend I was on the road. And it was across the country. And at the time that the pandemic hit, Phoenix had just sold out. And I was so excited. Phoenix, Arizona had sold out. Chicago was halfway sold out. New York was selling well. I did great in LA. I was about to add, it was expanding outside of Texas. And I was like, Chin, you're doing it. And then pandemic hit. And I had to cancel my whole tour, refund all those tickets. Man,
what the heck, man? Oh God. I'd be so pissed. I was so pissed.
Man, I was like, y'all, we really can't. And and it was like literally like within a 3-day span, every venue calling me, boom, 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 boom. Hey man, sorry, gotta cancel. I'm just like,
oh God.
So I canceled the tour. I had to cancel. So I didn't tour for like 6-7 months. And when I came back, I canceled the tour in March. I started my tour back up in like late August. It was a limit, but of course it was a limited seating tour though. So instead of the 200-300 seaters, the 500-seater venues that I was doing, the 1,000-seater venue I just did in Houston, we're doing 20 to 50 people. And, and it's a big difference though, but I'm grateful to be able to do the stand-up though, because in that limited seating, people come out, I still get the laughs, and it actually helped expand my, creativity in terms of like how I'm gonna present myself though. So that's where I came up with the online experience though. So what I would do is I would do my shows in front of 20 people, but I would stream it for people over the internet though, so they could buy a ticket to watch it online, like an online pay-per-view. So
perfect,
I did that, and from there, that's when I really hit a whole new base of international viewers. So I did my first Laughter's Healing, the online experience. I think we sold about 200 or 300 tickets outside the country. There are viewers that are watching that went from here. I had people from Morocco, from Canada, from Mexico. Like I do know I have a fan base in Nigeria. I do know that.
I was gonna say, I'm sure they're tuning in.
Yes, I had a lot of people from Nigeria watching. It was like, y'all finally been able to see, because I never did a show over there because it costs a lot to tour international. It's a grip. Yeah, it's a grip. So the fact, and I had people all over the world who had been wanting to see me for years, and so that made me realize, Chinedu, man, it's not just Texas. And it was one of those things that the pandemic showed me, like, Chin, you're reaching more people than you realize. And so it gave me more motivation to continue to work harder, to reach them, and to do the online shows the way I'm doing them. And also just, and just all that, just in maintain the same comedy I'm doing though, but in different platforms for different people. And it worked out great. Like the online experience was amazing. And I don't want to thank the pandemic though. Pandemic can catch these hands because okay. But through that, it did teach me how to be resourceful and use the internet in that lane though, because comedy, honestly, even though the pandemic is over, there are certain comedy venues that are not going to come back.
They're like restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gone, and it's very sad, but it's a reality. So I'm just very thankful that I was able to navigate through this difficult time and still be here and still work, still thrive.
Well, I'm glad you're still going strong. So we could see you on KHOU. We love having you on KHOU. Absolutely, Sports Extra. We need a draft video take after the 4 players that they're going to take nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah. Hey, we didn't.
We're about to have some guys we never heard of taken this weekend. So.
Exactly. They're like, you got who? We got a new equipment manager, man. Got a new washing machine, man. We got good stuff. I was like, whoop.
In fact, in the 7th round, they're probably going to take a washing machine.
That's going to be 11.
That's right. It's going to be left. So we can see you on H-Town Rush. We can see you on Sports Extra. how else can people get your content? You teased it a little bit earlier, but tell us a little bit before we wrap up here, where what you got going on, and where can we see you?
You can, like I said, you can always catch me, of course, on KHOU, like you said, A-Sound Rush, Sports Extra, and every now and then you'll see me on Great Day Houston. Every now and then you'll see me on spring, spring, you know what I'm saying? Little Tony's on there, like a little bit, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Like that. I have a Tony schedule with that. So, a little bit like that. So, I'm on tour. Expect delays. You can get tickets at my website, ChineduOgu.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, TikTok. I'm on all social media platforms. All my info's there. I recently just released my third stand-up comedy special, Laughter is Healing. It's a really good special. We have sold copies in 40 states, 9 countries, guys. Laughter is Healing. Where I got the picture of where I picked. Let me get the picture right now.
Okay.
Boom. Third stand special, Laughter is Healing. That's the cover, guys. It's available for you guys right now. Very funny, family friendly too. Watch the kids. And also in my current tour, Expect Delays is going on right now. We're on the road through December. We're all over Texas, and we also have Los Angeles, Atlanta, and we'll be adding a few more out-of-state dates soon as more vaccines rolled out. I'm vaccinated now. I'm fully vaccinated now, so more as we expand more, we're gonna be out there more. You know.
Perfect. Well, I got a kick out of before we go. I got a kick out of your Peppa Pig video.
Oh,
or I don't even know if it was a video, but I think it was one of your stand-up moments because I went through my it was on that. Okay, I went through my Peppa Pig phase too here at the house, and it's something. Paw Patrol. I'm sure you did Paw Patrol.
Oh yeah, I did. Paw Patrol. In my current stand-up, I talk about Doc McStuffins. That's the new one now.
I have not gotten that one. No.
Lord, man, you listen. It is insane how these things happen. Like my daughter was literally saying, "Oh, Dad, can you pass me a cutter? Like a cutter, a knife?" And we're getting gas. We're like, "Yes, Dad, you need to stop and get some petrol." It's gas.
It's gas. That's
yeah. I'm like, don't do it. It's Peppa Pig. Like, yeah, but it's a real. And I felt, and again, too, I felt, parenthood. We all relate to. So a lot of my Laughter family people who had kids are like, "Yo, I relate so hard because it's real life."
It's real life, man. Well, Chinedu, thanks, man. As always, appreciate it. And God bless you. And good luck. I need to make it to one of your shows. Like I said, I'll be in touch. Let's see which one. You coming out to Katy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be in Katy, I think, in July. I'll be out there at Star Cinema Grill in Katy. I'm gonna also do some. I'm gonna send you the links to my first couple of specials. Watch them at home. Check them out. If you laugh, come on out to the show. If you don't laugh, I'm sorry. I tried my best. I did my best.
If you don't laugh, that's a personal problem.
Yeah.
Chinedu, thanks, man.
Much love, man. You have a good one.